All right, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box to let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Hey, Brenda, afternoon. Alex, how are you doing today, sir? All right, lots of ones in there. Hey, Kevin, afternoon. And thanks, Dennis. Andrew, very much appreciated. So as we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance or forever taking on a trade, a setup, or adding an indicator. I am not sharing my screen, am I? Let's make sure we get that done. Wait for me. All right. Morning, Jim. All right. Atzam mo better, in the infamous words of Mr. Schwartz, right? High school shop teacher. Man was outstanding. All right, let's jump right in. So our agenda for today is we're going to go through our follow us page. We'll get into today's trades. So get ready, the trades that you've done today, the last couple of days, just prep them up. I'm going to ask you to drop them in pretty soon. This way you'll just have to hit enter. This is an accountability section, folks. It is, I'm out there telling the universe, this is what I'm doing. Win or loss doesn't matter. Break even doesn't matter. Funded, not funded does not matter. Right, much or more better. Exactly, Jim. We're going to get into the economic reports then, today's market review, upcoming trainings, our weekly training topic, and then your stocks that you want me to take a look at. Make sure you get them in early because if we run out of time, we can't add them in. So make sure you drop them in there as I ask, and you're prepped for that. All right, so here's our follow us page. Pretty straightforward. Excuse me. Sean and I shot, I want to say, the equivalent of 18 new videos on Thursday of last week. So there's going to be a ton of stuff coming out over the next little bit. My team is constantly creating videos, smaller videos from bigger videos. So there's tons of things out there right now that you can go through. Pick the platform that you most like. Rob, I don't like social media. What do I do? Make a fake account up. Go get a separate email address on Google, on Gmail that you use for nothing else. Don't ever check the email, nothing. Just log into to Facebook or whatever it is and check in on the content up there. All right. Okay. Today's trades. What did you do? Drop them in. Let me see what trades you did. Let's see. Jennifer said nothing, not trading. Can't tell which way market is going. Okay. That's fair. Brenda said Thursday a negative 9.6 on SPY. Boohoo. Yeah, it happens, Brenda, right? It happens. Patty, I love it. Amazon, 3 contracts, $255. Nvidia, 2 contracts, $75. Nice. Wait, Patty, and I read yours ahead of turn because of me, but I'll share mine with you guys in a little bit. No trades for Jim. Alex said, I've changed my focus from intraday strategies and the 821 cross and scalps to pop entries. I caught 6 of them over the past week. I am thrilled. I am so stoked for you, Alex. 1 went against me, and that stung, but the other 5 were winners. Were awesome. 1 open on moving average today, and we'll see how it goes. Great job, Alex. Let's see. Dennis said last Friday, Bank of America, April 17 put option. How did you do on it? Or is it still open, Dennis? Or how did that work out for you? Still open. Okay, good. So guys, here. So Patty had put in Amazon. So here's my Amazon. I'll kind of jump ahead a little bit. Actually, not really. So here's my Amazon setup. What happened? We gapped up. We ran right into the 214.38. I mean, right. You couldn't have got a whole lot closer if you tried. We bumped our head on ugly. We failed off of there. Out of the trade at about 211. Got in at 213.5. So overall, $2, $2.50 move on the stock price. Not great, but hey, I'll take it. The pattern was there. The setup was there. Take the dang trade, right? That's what pop is all about. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. You should all be doing this as non-funded in pop. And what does that mean? Every single setup that presents itself based on the pop rules, you're in. There is no, well, what about, nope. Oh, booking's too expensive. Don't care. It's not about, are you trading this with real money? It is about identifying patterns and getting a comfort zone. If you look at something that you do in your job, and if there are any of you that have a job in life that is maybe higher risk, You could be in the military, you could be a firefighter, you could be a police officer, corrections officer, something where you run into risk regularly, right? Your first day on the job, sweating bullets, I would guarantee it, right? It's like, oh my God, you know, my friend who was my neighbor who's a firefighter he's retired now. We talked about his very first day on the job, and it was like, oh man, it was crazy. And now it's like, yep, see the fire, go put it out. I mean, it's just, are there still risks? Is he still concerned about them? Yes, but he's developed a system that no matter what happens, he knows he's going to be okay, right? He knows what to do. Oh, it's coming this way, go like that. Oh, it's coming that way, go like that, right? He knows how to handle it. And that's why you trade every single thing that comes at you in power option plays. I don't expect in the first 3 months, 6 months, you're making all kinds of money. That's not what this is about. The system in POP is a complex system. Why? Because it's not some stupid rinky-dink crap, excuse my French, that is meant to be a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. It is not. If you're getting in POP for get-rich-quick, leave. You're wasting your time. It's about get-rich-steady. It's about identifying patterns, getting comfortable with those patterns, high probability. Here it is. For me, it's all about threes, right? High reliability, high repeatability, and high predictability. That's what POP is. Are there ones that go against you? See, there are, right? If we look here, watch. I don't really have them broken up by, and I don't have anything filled in on P&L here yet for it. I haven't done it, but we've done, let's see, closed trades are up to line 75. The first 4 lines are headers, right? So we've got 71 trades this year. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 trades went against us, right? And if we had 71 in total, what does that give us for winners? 60? No, that's not right, because we had a couple of break evens. We had 1, 2, we had 2 break evens. So 58 winners and 2 break evens, right? So do we have trades go against us? Yes. So if you look at it, you got out of the 71, we had 13, 11 and 2, right? So 58 out of 71, right? What is that? So I never remember. 58 divided by 71. That's an 81.7% win rate on our candidates in POP, right? There you go. Roman said, POP is all about following Rob's rules. You couldn't be more right, Roman. Alex said, I caught the Amazon this morning and made $375, 9% in 5 minutes. Love it. Absolutely love it. Guys, it's just smoking. Smoking. So this last week in POP, 1 contract trades. This is all 1 contract. I don't know if I have it on this page. I don't. I have it on this page. Power option plays, practice tracker, trade tracker 2025, 1 contract. That's all we take here is ones. We do not take multiple contracts here, right? There's never a 10 contract or 4 contract. No, 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 no. This week we had none go against us. 1 break even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winners. 8 winners, right? I don't have in any particular order. These are just the ones from last week. $5,674.50. That is why I say over and over and over again, you all need to be in POP. Someone asked me, what would be the best tool for me to get started? And I made a comment that I thought POP would be for that person the best one. They said, but we've talked about Mastermind. Is Mastermind a good thing to be in? I said, absolutely. It's a great tool to be in. If you're looking for the biggest bang for your buck right now for the situation they were in, without a doubt, power option plays. Power option plays. My team asked today in a meeting, they want to do a promotion on some of the tools for the company in the summertime, this upcoming summer. And they said, Rob, of your tools, which one would be the one that you think we should offer the discount for? And POP is the highest price one. It's higher than Mastermind Group, right? It's higher per month than Gap Trading Stats, right? It's the highest one. And POP is the one that's going to be, right? It'll be the one that we use for that August promotion that my team is putting together, right? That I found out about today. Right. So there's definite value, as Alex said, switching over to them. They work. Roman said POP is all about following Rob's rules. How much is needed to do POP? Alex, you know what? Let me do this. I'm not going to give you a number. Here's what I'm going to do. But I am going to give you numbers. Not going to say it's this much dollars. Instead, let me open up another document. Nope, I already have that one open. Let me open up another document and go over here to options prices. These were done on January 14th. I still have not updated the VIX on that date. I didn't do it, right? Test done on January 13th at 10 a.m. Expiration was the January 17 options. Calls were the only options reviewed. If you look at Adobe, if you pick out the stocks that are in this list, who would ask that? Les. If you pick out the stocks in this list, Les, that you like, okay? I don't like all 10 of them, all 20 of them because I'm not trading Costco. It's too expensive. God knows I'm not trading Booking. It's freaking crazy. You know, the stock is at 5,000 and on the next gap, it's at 4,990. You know, it's like, wait a second. I can't deal with those. You don't trade that one. That's okay. Okay. There are people in Pop that will not be in Pop if I didn't have the Costcos and the Bookings and the likes, right? And when Amazon was up there and Tesla was up there and Google was up there, right, in price. So on a Monday, Adobe is $10.50. And this is based on 1 day's data, right? On Tuesday, the same option was when I say the same option, 65 to 85 delta, closest to 65. I locked it right in at 9:40 a.m. So I locked the pricing on tops when I did the analysis. That $9 option was $7 on Wednesday. So huge drop, $4.60 on Thursday, $4.23 on Friday. So now the question, Les, comes down to what would you invest per contract? So Les, give me a number, not per contract, I'm sorry. How much is the most you're willing to put into a trade, your normal risk, not excessive risk, your normal risk, Les, how much is that for you on one trade? Is it 100? Is it 1 million? Is it 1,000? What is your risk for one trade? And I'm not holding you to it. Just give me an idea so I can use this as an example since you're the one that brought it up. And while you're doing that, so Les, do you normally put in more than $5,000 on a trade? Les had said, I have no answer. So, and that is part of, no, you don't. Okay, do you normally put in more than $1,000 less on a trade? So, and that is part of where I see people get stuck is, okay, so Les is saying, no, I don't normally put in more than 1,000. We're going to use 1,000 then, Les. We're going to say your maximum you're willing to invest in a trade is $1,000. Okay? If that's the case, Les, what does that say to me about Adobe? You cannot trade Adobe on Mondays. Why? Because it's $10.50. You need $1,050. You can't trade it, but you can trade it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Again, based on these numbers, it could change slightly, right? AMD, Les, you got it made, man. You can trade every one of those. On Monday, you could trade 2 contracts. On Tuesday, you could trade 3 contracts. Oh, the price went up on Wednesday. Yeah, just slight difference in where the stock was in relation to the strike price, right? So you can trade 3 contracts on Wednesday. You could trade 3 contracts. Oh, you could trade 4 contracts on Thursday, and you could trade $1.56 contracts, 6 or 7 contracts on a Friday, right, for AMD. Les, does that make sense? You see where I'm going with this? Right now, if you traded every single stock that we trade, if you traded every single stock that we trade in Pop, in other words, I'm just trading everything, right? Let's go to the beginning of the year. We'll go to the first 4 days. We'll go to the first day, January 2nd, right? AMD, Coinbase, Home Depot, United Healthcare. That's too much of a mouthful for me. AMD, Coinbase, Home Depot, and UNH. All right, so let's go back to the other tracking sheet. All right, let's go back to the other tracking sheet and look at AMD. Right now, January 2nd, let's go figure it out. I don't remember what day of the week it was. Whoops. Jan 2nd, no, that's December. Like, couldn't be a Monday. Jan 2nd was a Thursday. So it was a Thursday. So we have AMD. We have Coinbase. We had Home Depot. And we had United Healthcare, which will be the most expensive one. So if we took $2.50, I'm not going to do 246. We just take 8 1/4. Oh, no. Okay. I hit enter instead of plus. If we took 250, 825, $5 and 14 and a quarter. That's $3,000. $3,000 to do one contract of each. That's what was needed to do pop at a one contract trade. I know you're looking at it, it's freaking crazy. That's it. Yeah. And half of it was United Healthcare. So if you put a cap and say, no, I'm not doing anything over $1,000. I will not put more than $1,000 in there. Well, then you needed 250, another 800, another 500. Well, heck, just take out 1,400 out of it. That's $1,600 you needed to do these trades. That's it. Oh, Rob, it's only one contract. I can't hit real home runs with that. Listen, get good at one. Don't worry that you got to do more contracts. You've got a number. Now, don't get me wrong. If you said, I am willing to put $1,000 into each trade, then on the AMD trade, you'd have been able to do 4 contracts. You'd need $1,000. On Chipotle, you can only do 1 contract. You need $800. Total another 1,000. Home Depot, you can do 2 contracts. So you would have needed 1,000, 2,000, another 2,000 here. $4,000 is what you would have needed to do $1,000 per trade max, meaning United Healthcare, you still couldn't do it. Still couldn't do it. And that's okay. That's okay. Les, does this make sense? Does this help me walking through it this way? Because this was not planned for part of what I wanted to teach today. Jim said my risk is 2.5% of my available account to put into a trade. Okay. What kind of strategies, Dennis asked, are we using in POP? Purely buying calls and buying puts. That's all we talk about is directional trades. That's it. Rob, what time of the day did you say you got the cost of POP? It was at 9:40 a.m. Eastern time I did the test on January 13th. Okay. So you can see right here, Jan 13th. And then every day I went out and extended out one more day into the week. All of them were for the 17th expiration. And I did them at 9:40 a.m. Eastern. I just don't want to use the opening prices. I gave it 10 minutes. Prices are going to be jacked a little bit. Most of my trades are done within that first half hour anyway. So let's just get the higher price and not worry about it. If I can get a better price, it's just gravy. I'd rather go to the extreme. Which numbers are you referring to, Brenda? Barry said, I can understand a large drop at the end of the week for a 1 or 2 week expiration option, but I cannot understand the massive drop for the options that are 4 months out. Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to volatility flip, Barry. A lot of it has nothing to do with the standard movement of the options prices, but a vol flip. Good. Les said, yes, it was helpful. Excellent. All right. Alex said, last week I made $652 on one Lilly contract, $2,572 in the with $2,572 in the trade, 34% rate of return in one day, and that came from POP. That came from POP. All right, guys, this stuff works. But listen, I'm telling you, plan on being there 6 months. Just guys, my system is intense. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. I lay it out very straightforwardish. Actually, I'll announce it now for the first time. I'll say it. You can't hold me to the dates. I believe it's April. Andrew, when are we doing the jokes on you? Is that April? Sometime in April or May. It might be May we're doing. So after we do the jokes on you is when we're going to do this. We're going to re-record live everything that's in Power Option Plays. The entire system is going to be re-recorded live. And it's going to be re-recorded not in a big video, but in small chunks, breaking it down little piece by piece by piece by piece. Okay? The whole idea behind this is I want to give you, just like in Trading You, just like in Mastermind Group, I want to give you small, methodical, concise nuggets that if you're lost on what bias is, just go back and watch the 10-minute long bias video. If you don't understand buying calls and buying puts, go back and watch the 45-minute video on buying calls and puts. If you don't understand how to draw Fibonacci, go back and watch that 1 hour long video on fibs. If you need to learn how to add Fibbits, go watch that 10-minute video on how to add Fibbits. Right? That's as hard and as simple as it becomes. Okay, good, Brenda. The calculation of the VIX, Brenda, is just going here and looking at what the VIX was on that day. That's all. I'm not worried about the exact price of the VIX. It's close enough. I just want, you could see that when I did this one the last time, there was a major difference of 16 to 20 in our VIX over a 5-day period. That's a big move, right? But I want you to have that reference. I want to have that reference when I look these numbers up. This is something that I suggest that everybody does every quarter at a minimum, but ideally you do this every month in your trading account, every single month, right? And when we get down into, you'll hear me talk about sometime within the first half of this year, excuse me, you'll hear me talking about micro day trading strategies. I'll have a class coming out on that. It'll be a short class and be very inexpensive. I mean, ridiculously inexpensive. And it's the reason for that is, number one, when you give something away for free, most people could care less, right? I register, I don't show up. You know, we get 3 times the amount of people register for these classes and actually show up for the free ones, right? When you pay a $20 fee to get into something, you got some skin in the game, right? But that micro day trading strategy, we'll talk about how to analyze. We'll go through and I'll show you how we go through and find these numbers. I won't do a whole series like I have here, but I'll show you how I do it for each day, just on 1 or 2 stocks. So you'll know how to do that strategy, how to find all of these prices and the likes, okay? But inside of that strategy is it's a very clear and concise methodology for one simple pattern. That's all it is. And it is the holy crap, this market is too crazy for me to trade. What do I do? It's the holy crap, how do I trade pattern? That's what I'm calling it for now anyway, right? Jim said it was very helpful. Good. Yeah, Jim said I'd be interested in the micro day trading strategy class. Yeah, it's like I said, guys, it's going to be freaking dirt cheap, cheaper than any class I've charged for. Okay, that's how cheap it's going to be. So it's more of the, listen, if I can get you to learn a systematic approach, you will stay with Wealth Builders forever. So is there an underlying reason for me to say, yes, I'd love you to learn how to trade so you don't ever leave us for the education? Absolutely. But bottom line is, if I can't get you to learn it, I shouldn't expect you to stay. I shouldn't. Now, the other side of that is you joined a gym, you never showed up, and you go back to your brother-in-law and say, that gym is horrible, man. I didn't lose any weight at all, gained no muscle. How many times did you go? Well, I didn't go at all, but that's besides the point. No, it's not. Same with trading. Okay, good. So let me minimize this. So I was showing you the trade setups for today, right? So Amazon stretched up into resistance, failed in about 213.5, out about 211. Nice move. CrowdStrike still in the trade right now, not looking great. If we look at a 5-minute on CrowdStrike, you can see that it gapped up, it dropped, it pushed back up right here, closed here, failed. There's the entry, and we've come back and retested now, a little higher high. So I'm still in that position, but we're okay. So nothing here hurt us in the beginning of the day because we weren't in that trade yet, right? But that's one that may wind up going against us yet today. NVIDIA was another one that Patty had talked about, was NVIDIA, right? Oops, sorry. So NVIDIA gapped down, stretched up a little bit on the wick, and failed. So what does the intraday pattern look like? You notice what I do? I start with the daily, I go to the intraday, and what happened? We gapped down, as we saw in the day chart, the daily chart. We ran to the downside, closed down here. We stretched up Fibonacci line, 122.70. 122.79. My high here was 122.73. 79. High was 73, 4 cents above, and we failed. Okay? We failed off of that level. We dropped straight down, right? Life is good. Right? So we go back and look at the daily candle. Right? I may actually be out of it. 117.5. What was our low? 118, I think, is my target on this. Might have been 18.25. I don't remember. Either way, I wouldn't have been hit yet. Wouldn't have been tagged yet on it. If it's 118.25, we just hit it now. I just saw the price print on the far right, so we'd be out of that one now. Right? And then United Healthcare, a little bit more expensive of a stock, but Great move, big push up, big candle, a little rest day, nice move back up, indecision day, 2 days with equal highs pressed up. Today we hit it and we ran and dropped back down again, right? So we're in this about 470, 4.25 or something like that, and it's right now 470. So we got about a $4 move in our favor so far, right? Overall, it was a decent trading day today. Shucking and jiving inside of a team meeting today. My team had no idea what I was doing, moving around into different setups as we were, but I paused 2 or 3 times today taking these in our meeting. And that's the wonderful thing about having a laptop and a 6-pack of monitors here, is I can do both, right? All right, we've got a good amount of people in here right now. So just so you are aware, we are switching over power option plays over to what we are calling a perpetual power option plays. So what will happen is once you register for it, you will never need to register again. There will be a members area. There is a members area for those of you that have been going, getting in that way, newer to the system. There's a members area that you will have access to. It'll be right on your main page. I think I have access to the page. Let's see. I don't know what we call it. I got the tag. I don't have it. Andrew, can you get me access to? Oh wait, here, power free membership, Power Hour, right there. It's under the free membership section. If you don't see it, when you register now, you will. We're changing this video over. It's not going to be the current video. There's going to be a different video I put there. Last 4 power hours will be right here. You'll still find it under WBHQ TV. And then the swipe file, if you want my TradeStation template or what someone else made up. I don't remember if it was Trip or who made this up for us, but a TOS 4-pack, the templates are there. And we'll add other things to this page, okay? But you've got a members area that you'll find all this stuff in right on your page now. All right, so very excited about this new area coming to be. Okay, so the joke's on you is the beginning of April. So the end of April, beginning of May is how long we will, is when we will be doing the redo of everything in POP. Brian said, how long are the contract expiration for POP trades? The simple answer is, Brian, right now we're doing 98% day trades. So they are this upcoming Friday, unless it's an SPY trade, then it's, today. We always do, we're in and out the same day, so it's the shortest possible. If I did the trade this Friday at 3:50 in the afternoon, 3:50 p.m. Eastern, I would do Friday's contract. If they are a swing trade, it's at least 30 days out, possibly longer, based on what you see in the pattern as far as how long it takes to get there. Okay. So let me take us back into the page. Let's go look at economic reports. I don't have it open, so let's go right over to Forex Factory. And let's see what we got. Okay, let's not use red. Let's stick with the blue. So Monday, we had a 9:45. You see they're grayed out, so these already have happened, right? 9:45, 10 o'clock, those are Purchasing Managers Index. I'm not too worried about ISM. It's orange. Can it move things? Yes. But manufacturing price, I'm not too concerned with it. Now, that may become a much more important report since today or tomorrow is the day the tariffs are supposed to take place in China, Mexico, and Canada. There was just talk on CNBC of you will see U.S. automakers that are very heavy presence in Mexico start shifting everything they can to the United States to avoid those tariffs based on capacity, right? And listen, I think Trump will work with them if there's a commitment to build out and they see something happening here, not just, yes, we're going to put in $100 million or $1 billion or whatever, but they see the commitment to building factories. I think they'll work with them. Or they may not and say, yep, it's great you want to do it. Get your butt in gear and we can cut your prices really quickly when you do. Tentative of Trump speaking. I think that's a staffer over at Forex Factory that just says, there's a good chance he's going to speak every day, so let's just throw it in there. He does have a scheduled one tomorrow, it looks like at 9 p.m., but the markets are closed, so that's not going to matter as much unless you're trading futures, right? Wednesday, 8:15. is ADP, won't affect you unless you're trading futures. 9:45 and 10 o'clock are two of the ISMs. I mean, the PMIs, one is final service, the other one is ISM. And if you don't know what that is, just come over to this orange box and click on it, and it'll tell you measures a level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the service industry, right? Usual effect, actual greater than forecast is good for currency, okay? And then you got to click, there's an X. Where did it go? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. There's the X, right? You got to click to close it down. Unemployment claims on Thursday, FOMC Waller speaks. Waller is not normally a big deal. We don't usually see dissension there of what they say. Friday, we've got a lot of reports, all red, right? Fed Chair Powell speaks on Friday. That's at 12:30, right? Put a big asterisk next to that. Pretend that's an asterisk I drew there, right? There you go. Put a little asterisk there, okay? And keep this in mind. Friday, you will probably see lighter volume waiting for people to hear what Powell has to say before they make a decision on a trade. End of the week, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see that happening. So when they were talking about the direction of movement is, it says actual higher is good, or that's saying that's Brenda, that is better for currencies when it's that way. It's just better. It bodes better for our currency. Excuse me. All right, let's go back here. Market review. All right, I'm gonna be cognizant of time here. So let's go look at the S&P 500 and see what the heck is going on. So traders were excited. I got the text messages. I saw the emails, the phone calls, the calls on CNBC of the market's up this morning. We gapped up from where we closed on Friday. It's a good day, and we opened right there, and we stretched up. We blew through the 8 moving average. We were running higher, and then what does it do? Right? In a Robism, it bumps its head on ugly. What is ugly? 59.90, 6,000, 6,008. That blue zone in there. It ran into it and fell. So what, in essence, just happened? This happened. We ran down, we pushed back up, and we failed. So we take the run here, we made a move back up, and then we rolled back over. Now, I don't know what it comes out to be in fib speak. In other words, how much of a run or how much of a pullback. I haven't checked that. But this little red line that's right in there, I don't know if you can see the percentage on the right side there, the left side there. That's 50% of that move down was that move back up today. So winner, chicken dinner. We're right there in a 50 percentile, which gives us a perfect H pattern. So we're expecting a 1-2 line move to the downside. Right? A 2-line move to the downside is what we're looking for there. All right. I am not going to leave that fib line on there. I just wanted to show you. Let's see. I'm going to just have to delete that. But 2 lines would be 1, 2. 1, 2. So the 59, 11. We got pretty close today. When we bounced back up, we're still down a little bit, only $9. But guys, it's the markets are getting kind of wiggy out there, which is where my micro day trading has kicked in. And that was force of habit. That was getting slapped enough times of, now what? It went against me again. Now what do I do? Now what? How do I trade? What do I do different? And that's where I developed. I came up with this micro day trading strategy. And look, here's the thing. When you see that technique, some of you are going to look at that and go, Rob, that was a little oversimplified of how to do this. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever read Think and Grow Rich, there's a company that had a machine that was broken. Every mechanic they got in there to try to figure it out could not tell them what was wrong. Now they bring a mechanic in. A few minutes later, I forget, 5, 15, whatever it was, an hour later, he comes up and says, it's all done. Oh, you fixed it? Awesome. What was it? It was this part. Okay, great. What do we owe you? $10,000. $10,000. He said, that part doesn't cost $10,000. He goes, no, the part was $5. He said it cost $9,995 to know what part to look for. Right? And that's what it is. It's not a matter of this requires brain surgery. It's a matter of you going, I see it now. I understand. I understand. All right. So where are we going then on what's happening right now? Guys, we've got that 59.43, but we're looking at 58.78 as our next downside target. And we've got to put in a recent swing low down here. We cannot discount that lower level. Barry said, I think that man was Steinmetz. Maybe. Jim said, did some checking this weekend on the numbers on the SPX to see if I can figure out anything on a possible direction. Where'd that go? Okay. Round again. It just kind of jumped off my screen. Possible direction. Okay. 61.47.43 was the 52-week high. 61.72.53 was your 618 fib line. 25.10 away from the fib. Still do not redraw the fib since it's not close enough to the fib, around 6 months old, getting close to the 8 to 10 months. 61.47 times 43 times 90%. 55.32.10. So a 10% drop, 55.32. 55.84 is your 618 fib line. 51-point difference. Confluence area on the weekly chart around the 21 moving average. Bounce up or break through. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Are you able to grab Jim's comment? Because it doesn't let me do it. Are you able to grab Jim's comment and paste it in the chat box to everybody? Does that let you do that? I don't know why it won't allow me to copy. But guys, what Jim does is he's a thinker. He's getting out there going, okay, what about this? Is most of what he thinks of going to be the exact answer? No. He's looking for I got it. He's looking for the micro day trading strategy. Excuse me. Yeah, so Andrew's saying it's not letting him do it either. I don't know why. It's crazy. Andrew, we got to look at how we set these rooms up and make sure there's not a function that we can turn on that allows admins to copy. I know it's different in webinars than it is in meetings. So 58.78 is the second downside. Guys, this 59.90 up to 60.08. There's a lot of resistance in there. If we break that, 60.60. But we break that. We're not that far. We break this, we're in bullish territory. We're in bullish territory. Right? It's crazy. Alex said the bearish move after the last all-time high reminds me of when I extend myself in the gym. I set a record, but then I collapsed and too sort of move for days afterwards. Yep, I get that. One of the biohackers I follow, Dave Asprey, talks about not lifting weights with weights, lifting weights using AI. There's he has in his own company, but there's a nationwide company called Osti Strong that I'm going to go and check out. There's a couple of them in our area here that allows you to lift maximum weight, literally maximum weight, 15 minutes, one time a week. You build more muscle, they claim, in that one time a week than working out 3 days, a week, full day, full hour day, full hour long workout. Do 3 hours, you get less of a gain than you do on these 3 machines in a total of 15 minutes. We'll see. But I get you. It's a good analogy, Alex. It's a real good analogy of pressing yourself too much. All right. So if we break through that 60.08, 60.60 as our next upside target, once again, get above the 21 moving average green line, and we're in bullish territory. All right. Let's bring it back into our document. So inner circle we've got this evening. Our monthly is coming up on the 13th, which is next week. Trading You is March 3rd. That is tonight. I am teaching that. Mastermind is tomorrow's the 4th. Monster Market Movers is on the 19th. Let's see. Power Hour and Coach's Playbook are on regular schedule. Futures Trading Simplified is Brandon. 20, 24, 26, and 28. We got a mix of noons and 8 p.m.s. And then Pop, Covered Call, E-mini are all on regular schedule this week. Okay? Andrew dropped a link in for the Futures Trading Simplified. It's a free training. Here's my thought, folks. Whatever we list under this free online workshop side of the document, whatever we list out over here, you should take everything that's there. Now, I'm not saying go to all four of Brandon's classes. They're going to be fairly similar. Maybe different examples, different questions, but fairly similar in what he's going to teach. But making sure you get to them, you never know the one nugget you're going to pick up from what he teaches you in there. I've had people that go to futures trainings and switch from being an options trader to become futures traders. Then, no, I love what he's doing there. It's awesome. I'm just trading that now instead. All right. Kevin, is he in here? Kevin is in here. Kevin is a futures trader, right? Hardcore. I'm not talking futures today, but he's in here now, right? Okay. So Trading You. Okay, I guess we've got an offer on Trading You right now. So, and Kevin said futures all the way. All right. Guys, Trading You is our mini mastermind. It's kind of your first step into mastermind. You can do it as monthly. You can do it as annual. We do have a special price coming on the annual because we had stopped the annual on it. So if you're interested in there, Andrew will drop that in. Oh, there you go. No coupon needed. So it's a $300 savings right now on the annual. All right. Weekly training topic is how to trade the S&P 500 right now. Okay. This is going to be an easy answer. But when I get 10, 12 questions in a 2 or 3 day period of what do I do with the S&P? It's falling apart and I don't know how to handle it. And it's not just, when you see days like this after the fact, right? This day right here, you look at that after the fact, like, man, that was easy to trade. Just hold on all day long and you did great, right? Yeah, that's easy to say, hindsight 2020, right? This day we gap up, we run. Okay, so it looks like we're going to bounce there. We press into a major resistance. We get down a little bit below, a little bit tougher on that day than it was the day before, right? I'm going to clear that off just because it's too busy with all the lines on it, right? So I'll do it again from down here. This next day we open up a little bit lower, we stretch up and we fail. Oh man, that was awesome. Oh yeah, but Rob, look at how much we climbed back up though. Yeah, but you had a resistance, a support right there. Why didn't you get out? Oh, but it kept running. Okay. What were we hoping for? I mean, what was your goal? All the way down here? Was that a realistic number? If you look at the wildest average true range multiplied by 2, is that realistic to get down to that level? Right? This next day, we gapped massively down. I'm sorry, my bad. We gap up, we run into that same resistance again, and we just drop massively to the downside. Right? This day, we gap down. Right, we close here, we gap down to here, we stretch down to a new all-time low, recent all-time low, and swing low, and we get a great run to the upside in there, right? Very unconventional for what we've seen happen here. A little bit of news driven behind it, right? Today we gap up, we run into this resistance, we fail, we break, we come back, right? There's a lot of emotions being pulled out right here of, man, that's unsettling. That's tough to swallow. That's hard for me to accept, and when I'm in that trade, it's kind of like a roller coaster with my heart rate going up and down, up and down, up and down, right? The bottom line is this. The S&P 500, we're not that far. We're not that far from all-time highs. I mean, look at the move, guys. Look at this. We're not that far from all-time highs. Now, I know part of the problem, some of you bought Amazon and Netflix and Microsoft and Nvidia and whomever here. And now this is run over and you're absolutely freaking out. And I get that, right? I get that. When you're a buyer, when you're buying for that longer term portfolio, you need to have a strategy as to what you do. I am looking for pullbacks. Every one of my major tech stocks, the Amazons of the world, Teslas of the world, have all been slapped around. Tesla more than others because of the association with Doge, I believe, is what's really hurting that right now, right? But I have a strategy for every position of where I'm going to add to my positions. Not all of them I will. Some of them I am at a full allotment. I don't want to put more of that position on, right? But, I mean, some of these I've got for a year, 2, 3 years, some longer than that. My SPY longer than that. My Berkshire Hathaway B shares, not A, much longer than a year or 2 or 3, right? Probably more like 10, okay? So I've got great gains in there, unrealized. And the Berkshire and SPY not necessarily all in retirement accounts. Some of the SPY is, but not all of it, right? So I'm not willing to sell that. And I've got strategies managing it and put options that can manage the risk on the downside and covered calls and the likes, right? There's different things you can do with it. But when I look at what's going on in the market right now, it's a very simple answer. You've got to shorten the amount of time you're in a trade. And I don't just mean day trade versus swing trade. To me, swing trade is almost non-existent. Here, I'm doing power option plays tonight. I already identified every single one of the stocks. I already have listed out whether it's an earnings trade or a day trade. I don't have to look at what happens today because I'm not swing trading it. We're not in a position to swing trade. I have nothing that says this is a good swing trade market. Nothing. Right? Fast move up, big gap down. Well, there goes your swing trade. Just handed you, got your head handed to you. Big move up, huge gap down. Big move up, bam, 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 bam. 5 candles straight down. Right? One gap and go. We gap up, we pull back. We're all over the place. We don't have a clear functioning market that says it's good to swing trade. Now, does that mean that there aren't traders making money with swing trades? Absolutely not. Sure, I'm sure there are. Just not me. Just not me. I would rather be in a day trade, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I don't mean 50 times a day. I'm talking about maybe 1 or 2 trades on average per day, 3 per day. That's it. Jim said the S&P is about a 3.3% pullback from a recent high. Calculate the 10% down from the recent high, and that's where we find a pullback. 20% down is a correction, right? Now, can we get 20%? Yes. Do I think we will? I don't know. What happens with Russia and Ukraine? What happens with Israel and in the Middle East? What happens with China and Taiwan and everything else that we're contending with out there? There's just too much craziness right now for us to look at this and say it's easy. So bottom line, shorten the length of your contracts. That's better. Don't need the sun in my eye. I love the sun, but probably not great on the camera either. Shorten the length of your contracts, meaning get down more to the day trade. Shorten the amount of time you're in the trade. Use support and resistance as a target. Do not go to a second support. Do not go to a second resistance. Only take the cleanest of clean trades. If we look at Amazon today, excuse me, Amazon had a perfect setup. It ran up, retested, failed, right? If we look at CrowdStrike, it had gapped up, went higher, came down, retested, failed. Again, this is the one that's probably going against us today. If we look at NVIDIA, gap down, broke through the 122.69, retested, failed, trade was out. Hit down at that 118 level, and we're done. United Healthcare, right? It closed here, opened a little bit lower, retested, failed, trade taken, right? So what about Broadcom? Right? Broadcom, I had 100 point moving 100 level in there, 200 level, but $200 or point line in there. I didn't take the trade. Did it work? Yeah, it worked beautiful. But I didn't take the trade. Why? Because it's too much mess. This is the obstacle course with an obstacle in the way. This is a down tree, right there, or a down wire, or whatever you want to call it, right? Coinbase. Well, but Rob, Coinbase moved up. It was a great trade. That gap up, I could take the run and I'd get in early. Yeah, and then you got your head handed to you. I'll buy a put there. Why? There's nothing that said buy puts. I mean, nothing that said to buy puts. So why am I buying a put? Right? You've got to functionally find the right setup. Go to Costco. It gave me nothing. Next. That's it. Pass. Pass. Go find something else to do. Rob, what if every one of my stocks do this? Awesome. You get a day off. That's it. You get a day off today. Oh, I got to find a trade today. No, you don't. You don't. You actually don't have to find a trade today. Right? Not what it's meant to be at all. To me, it's getting rid of the garbage. Whatever good is left over will rise to the top, right? Get rid of the chaff. Alex said, did NVIDIA actually retest today? So look at NVIDIA. Closed here, retested here, and failed. So yes, Alex, it did. Dennis said, I got the focus on shorter time frames. So why do you focus on shorter options time frames for expiration of the options if the markets are volatile? The forgiveness in price movements versus time is very limited if the option time expire is shorter. So you're welcome to do a second week, Dennis, or go out 2 weeks in the options. I find that I'm not going to carry it overnight. So if the forgiveness factor is I'll get to hold it one more day if I'm wrong, or one more week if I'm wrong, I won't do that. Because the theta value deteriorating from now until next week is astronomical. But if you're more comfortable going another week, then I can get a less volatility, better bid-ask spread. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Jim said also to consider going on that could move the markets is next week, the CPI, PPI numbers. After that, the FOMC meeting. Exactly. Yep, good point, Jim. Jennifer said, you tell us all the time we don't have to trade today. I'm finally comfortable with your advice instead of FOMO. Yeah, I agree. Right? It's just, and I'm very happy for you, Jennifer, very happy, because it's tough. I know that's how I started out. I had to find a trade now. I had a 30-minute window to find a trade, and that was 12 to 12:30, the time I don't trade any longer, because it's a horrible trading time for me. Brendan said there's too much instability to hold overnight or longer. I'm with you, Jen. There you go. Alex said, for these entries, do we close a candle 3 minute, 5 minute, etc., to close $1 above the fib line, or do we only need the stock price to hit that price? So, Alex, the order should be set. The way that I do it is the order is set when on the stock price hitting that price. Stock price hits, it triggers an order to sell your option at market. Whatever that value is, it doesn't matter. You cannot control that option's price. You can't control what happens with the stock price. Don't bother trying to chart the options price and see where you think it goes to next. It's not a valuable or viable strategy. As far as the minute candle, I use a 5 minute as my primary. I use a 1, a 5, a 30, and a daily. You'll have to decide what your primary is. But primary has nothing to do with if the price came down and hit my target, it triggers the order to go out. So I don't need to be sitting there. Actually, the best thing I can do is walk away. Perfect. Thanks. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to enter as soon as the stock hits the price or when the candle closes above. And so, okay, good. All right. So drop in your candidates, folks. We don't have a whole lot of time left. Sorry, I went a little long on that, on explaining the options to you, but I thought it was very valuable for our lesson today. SPY, but I'm going to go ahead and change this list over, and I think I just changed the stock again. All right, let's go back to the daily chart. So Brenda's got SPY. So Brenda, I love where SPY is. We close right here. Come on down a little bit tomorrow, retest the 592 and fail. And 586 is my support. Somewhere above there, 588, 589. I'm going to be out of that trade. Probably 88. Can I take the upside if we close here? Move up, rebalance up to 592 and a half. 595 and a half would be resistance. It's kind of pushing a little bit. I like the downside better on this one. AMD. All right. Looking kind of ugly. All right. That 100-point level in there is bothering me a little bit. So I'm going to stay away from that. If you wanted to take a trade on it, it's got to move back to the 104. 100 is support. 101 and a half is going to be the target. Mara. I look at it and I just get nervous. I feel nervous, right? There's no comfort at all when I look at this stock. Nothing. I'm just all over the place. I could draw some kind of fib just to try to bring some semblance of normal. In here, it's too close. 12 to 16. Yep, I need a fib in there, so give me a negative 136. All right. So we break the 1478. 13 is our target. Just not a lot of room. You got to watch the 8 moving average. It's a little bit of a tougher one. And then GLD. As gold is near all-time highs, we've had amazing moves on some of these. All right. I want us above the 268. 272 is resistance. All right. I hope that helps, Brenda. Roman's asking for Tesla. So I like the downside on it, Roman, no question. 294 down to 281 and a half. Call it 282, just make it easy. So we got about an $8 move down, but I'm waiting to see if we break down this lower low, retest and fail, and then 254 support. Ooh, I like that a lot. And they've been punished. They've been punished, right? Justifiably or not, it doesn't matter. No upside trade on the Roman, only to the downside, which you know already. All right, Oracle. Larry Ellison, CEO. I need to break the 162 half, retest and fail, and 155 half is support. So about 157, 56 and a half, somewhere in there is going to be my target on the downside. All right. Brenda, you're welcome. Okay, listen, guys, there's a lot of links that we threw in here today. I threw a ton of information at you. If it came at, rapid fire, if you have that power hour in your free members area, by all means, you'll be able to click on that. Probably tomorrow, we'll get today's video uploaded there and you go back and watch it again, which would not be a bad thing to do. Go back and watch it again tomorrow or, when you can. But there's a lot of little things that you can do to start tweaking and making your trading better. I watched a video today where they talked about helping you to increase your IQ by 20 points, right? And it was all cognitive things that you could do, right? The very first thing, I think the first one he said was stop mindlessly scrolling through negative news on social media. Negative news does this, to cortisol, to this, to that. It lowers your IQ. You wake up tired, whatever it is, okay? At the evening, stop at the screen time, all the things but none of them were, hey, do this one thing and you're going to increase your profitability or your cognitive, your IQ by 20 points by doing this one thing. No. Okay. There were some things that were higher value, like red light therapy on your eyes. Okay. Well, none of these are going to be, all right, if I just add this one little nugget that I heard from Rob today, that's what is going to turn all my trading around. It may be what you're missing. I'm not saying it's not. It may be the one thing you're missing. But for the average person, you need to build a system that will incorporate not only the things that I talked about today, but quite a few more. And that's where our power option plays come in. Guys, listen. I think we dropped a link in for it. If not, just go to the over to the store on the members page or in the website, and you'll see it. Take the quarterly, get a quarterly. Don't get the monthly. Do the quarterly and do the trial. Comes with a 2-week trial. If you can't figure out in 2 weeks whether you like it or not, it's not going to make a difference, right? It's probably not for you. Doesn't mean you understand it all. I don't expect you to understand it in 2 weeks. There's a ton of information there. Gwen said, I noticed that you use the daily chart to decide on your day trade. Recently, I've been looking at the hourly, the 15, the 5 chart. What's the difference? I use the daily chart when to make the decision of, yes, this is one as a potential today. I use the 5-minute to make the decision of I'm getting in, and I use the 1 minute to kind of help tweak the entry. I also have a 60-minute. I don't use it as much, but it is on my charts. So that's more of direction. Has the direction for the last X candles been, bearish? Because that's what I'm looking at today. Let's say it's bearish. Right. A thought: after the recording gets copied somewhere, send a follow-up email as to the ones who registered. Yeah, that may be a good idea. Andrew, do me a favor. Send Sean an email that says, let's consider putting an email out after Power Hour goes into the members area, that a reminder email that goes out and says, hey, it's in your members area now. Just give me an acknowledgement that you got that, Andrew. Jennifer said, I need to sleep and exercise and eat better. I'm working on these to help my energy and therefore trading and thought process. Thank you as always. You're welcome. Okay, so the daily can help me with day trading. And absolutely, I use the daily as everything that I do. When everything I do comes from there. Hey, Steve, good to see you, my friend. Cool. All right, everybody, I'll leave the room open a couple of more minutes so you can jump in there and grab those links. Right? Have a great rest of your day. God bless, and I will see you all at our next update. Take care, everybody. See you soon.